Cosmetics are at 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Hero expansions are available at 10 and 30. So this is moved up by 5. This is the same as before. Daily XP increased to 5 from 3. Trophy XP bonus to 10 from 5. So they roughly doubled XP rates. So level 50 is the same as... Oh, they didn't change weeklies. Okay. So they doubled all non-weekly XP. Okay. And then in exchange, there's 40 more levels to climb through. I think I was typically getting to tier 70-ish before. Yeah, I'm not sure how much of the XP was coming from weeklies versus the other stuff. Hey, Warlock. I'm sure somebody has done the math on it. Normal mode matchmaking. We're making some under-the-hood changes to matchmaking in normals, making matches more approachable to new players. Okay, I mean, we're making the... Sure. It's the mode with no rewards. Not a huge deal. Does this only affect new players? I'd be worried that this makes it a little too hard to get real testing in normals. Like, last time I played normals was... I think before Mac released? And I think normals were like 20 to 30% easier than ranked. Boards that I would expect to get like 7 or 8 wins on ranked would 10 win in normals. But boards that were worse than that still didn't really get there. Having a weird bug with the tempo launcher that makes it deinstall itself. You might have to just full reinstall. I know that's been an issue before. Let me see if mine will launch. Looks like my game is launching. One thing that I am happy about is I have not had any issues launching the game in the last month. Pretty happy that they managed to fix that. It used to be a coin flip whether or not the Bazaar would launch. Second time in a week. Yeah, I don't know. Try just like deleting the whole launcher and then reinstalling fresh. I don't know if the devs have a different solution, but I know that's what worked in the past. Monster XP on health bar. Monster XP shown in the monster's health bar and earned as you deal damage, similar to the way gold currently unlocks in fights. This means losing a PvE is significantly less punishing to the run, and we expect to see more people putting Warrior and Lich in their place. That's interesting. I guess some of these fights end up being pretty close a lot of the time. I'm thinking specifically with Lich. A lot of the time, you lose to Lich because he just has so much healing, and you can't fight through the healing. Which means you still wouldn't get the XP. Monsters give 3 now? Wait. Did they redid Monster XP again? Yes. Diamond and Legendary give 4. Monsters give 1 more XP, but you get 1 less through the day. Oh, okay. Wait. What? Is it just like the hour XP is built into the XP reward? Random fights mean more XP? It's weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's the same. Well, it's clearly not the same. It might end up being the same total amount of XP, but why is it the same total amount of XP if the number went up? Like, what is the thing that changed? Upgrade preview. Players will be able to preview upgraded items for Forja, Upgrade Hammer, encounter upgrades, and more. Sweet. Temp player buffs. Temp player buffs no longer appear on enemy ghosts. I don't know how I feel about this. On one hand, I feel like anything that goes into the fight with another player should be something that the other player sees on the other end, just so it's like symmetrical as a game. On the other hand, they did feel really bad to run into, so I don't know. It's just like another change that makes the game not really PvP. I think Hour 3 doesn't give base XP, but the normal hours do, even if you ran the fight. Strange change. I wonder if that was intended. I can't imagine wanting to buff bonus fights. Pig expansion, Vanessa expansion, new Piggle items. So we're getting green and orange Piggles for the regular Piggle thing, and then these aren't counted as part of the expansion. Merchant, the Tester. Sells tech items only on Vanessa and Dooley. Sure. The Antiquarian. Sells relics from any hero, available on all. Aimbot sells crit items to Vanessa and Mac. What does this make easier to find? I guess it depends what tier it shows up on. Like, this could be big for finding your Runic Great Axe on Mac if it shows up early enough. But if it's like a day 8 merchant, not really relevant. Early temp buffs in particular, disproportional power increase for 1 hour, and the game's not real PvP, so it's good they reverted it. I almost... On principle, if temp buffs are too good, I would just remove temp buffs. Or nerf temp buffs. Like, that seems like the issue, rather than making the game have even more power to active player. Sterling, upgrade a bronze or silver item. How rare is this? One thing that B1, B2 did was it made getting your items to silver pretty much guaranteed. Like, you never really had to be worried about your bronzes being stuck on bronze. However, you only had a couple of guaranteed opportunities in a game to turn your silvers to golds. It's basically just your level 7 upgrade, and then maybe you get an upgrade event. But, like, even the upgrade event, you really want to use turning a gold to a diamond. You saw 2 or 3 of these in your last run. This is a huge change, then. This existing is going to completely change how you think about different builds. Where right now, you really want your comps to function just upgrading 1 item above silver. If you can reliably get a couple of items to gold, that's a big buff to a lot of things. Like, that was one of the complaints that I had while playing Saloon, is it feels like when playing Saloon, you need to upgrade the Saloon itself desperately. You need to upgrade, like, a couple of different carry items, because they're all smalls. Like, Salt Claw is not really playable at silver. Manta Shrimp falls off at silver. Shark Ray needs to be gold or diamond to be playable. Stuff like Nitrogen Hammer really rewards being able to upgrade both the hammer, your bronze freeze items, silver freeze items. Being able to get coolant to gold is huge. Yeah. Huh. That's not even considering if this shows up before level 7, and you get early gold items. Yikes. You pick a silver pivot past level 7 sometimes. Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, this is a huge structural change. It might not seem like it, but assuming that it's pretty common and you expect to see a couple per run. It shows up before 7. That's terrifying. There's a lot of items that go from, like, kinda bad to really nuts. From silver to gold. Skill, supply cache. At the start of the day, get 2 loot. What? Wait, why 2? What tier is this? Seems good. Seems good. Income kinda. Got it at bronze. Huh. So it clogs the bronze pool a bit. Remember, arbitrage is a skill. This is strictly better arbitrage. You don't even have to win the fight. Now, is it impressive to be strictly better arbitrage? No. But it is worst case strictly better arbitrage. Imagine getting this to silver, too. You start printing real loot items. I think Pig needs to fundamentally change. Yeah, I saw they didn't nerf Yo-Yo. I don't know what we're doing. I, I, I don't know. I have no idea what we're doing anymore. So gold skill start and got it. Yeah. It is, as long as the skill starts at bronze, you can get it in the gold skill start, is I believe the rule. Frontline logistics. When you use an ammo item, your weapons gain 3, 6, 9 damage for the fight. Available on Vanessa. So it doesn't start at bronze. So it's just another redundant Steel Storm sort of effect. Which is pretty important. I'd still be worried. I feel like my issue with Steel Storm isn't that it's hard to find when I get the skill vendors that offer it. It's that sometimes you're just not offered the vendors that offer it, and you're already committed to ammo. This still being locked in the weapon, ammo, or Vanessa exclusive skills, it makes it easier to hit when you're offered those. But that wasn't the main way things went wrong, if that makes sense. Day one of the patch is always nonsense. Yeah, but like Yo-Yo with Pickle Storm was a very obvious thing that we've been here before. This mistake has already been made. Yeah, like if this was like a burn skill or a poison skill and did something else for ammo, that would be a big change. Just like having another vendor that you can have as a hit to find a good payoff for your ammo comp. But because it's in the vendors that are already pretty likely to give you a skill that's good for you, it's not as big as it would be otherwise. When you play Ammo Nessa, it's the items you get walled by instead of skills. Maybe. Both can happen. Both can definitely happen. It can be a struggle to find flat damage. Like, one thing about Ammo Nessa is if you have Steel Storm, you don't need Figurehead anymore. There is some interplay between if you find certain skills, you don't need certain items. If you find certain items, you don't need certain skills. Does also mean if you're taking this, you're not taking heated shells. If you want to be open to the keg pivot, which you often do. Okay, Mac item changes. Athenor now reloads everything. Strength Potion now doesn't work with a single item in the entire game. Holy fuck. Venomous Dose, cooldown to 5. That's a lie. This works better with the regen spear. Venomous Dose to 5. That's like the one cool thing about Venomous Dose. I guess there's like a big bonketing everywhere, right? So if they're just taking every item with a high play rate and giving it a bonk. Carpet? Or bonking carpet? Okay. Rainbow Potion, cooldown to 6. Okay, that's getting inverse bonked. And then Noxious Potion, also inverse bonked. Huh. Can Mac... So you can still use Noxious Potion next to injection system to get 3 poison triggers at 4 seconds, which is enough poison triggers to trigger your spider mace. Like, before you would do venomous dose for that, and you would have 1 extra trigger. So you still can get a 4-second start on those boards, it's just way worse. I wonder if that was the intent with this. That's... Huh. That's more foresight than I would have expected while bonking everything. Because it doesn't matter for anything else, right? Like, it's 3 extra damage. Noxious Potion activating at 4 seconds rather than 5 seconds. This isn't really a thing that you're excited to reload or use a bunch of times in a fight. Mac didn't need the nerf. I mean, they're nerfing everything. Like, Mac got fewer nerfs than other characters, right? Might be a happy coincidence. It's just such a weird item to change if that's not what you're worried about. Like, why Noxious Potion specifically while changing Venomous Dose to 5 seconds? It's also the worst 10-win class. Yeah, but look at this. Look at all of these. It also didn't nerf all of his comps. I guess Excavation Tools cleans up a lot of the stuff that wasn't nerfed. The core has an extra cooldown at all levels. Okay, so all the cores are getting an extra cooldown back at all levels. The Weaponize and Ignition get murdered at silver. Interesting. The tempo cores aren't even tempo anymore. Wait. What the fuck are these tiers? 7, 6, 5, 8, 7, 5. So they're all 5 at diamond. Primal and crit take an extra tier to get to 5. Or to get the 2 off. Ignition and Weaponized get 2 off going to gold. What? I'm so confused. Is that actually? Yeah, I mean, that's... Wait, no, here. The core. 765, 865. 8, 7, yeah, that's... Yep. Where were we? For an early steamrolling? It's just, why is it... Why is where the 2 buff happens in a different place? This just seems confusing for no reason. Like, these are the cores that get more out of the cooldown buff. Like, you're often not even pushing Primal to gold. Primal and crit already suck. But they got the short end of the stick. They're the ones that don't get the 2-second buff until diamond. Like, if it was the other way around, it would make more sense. Which Celsius are you drinking today? This is Oasis Vibe. Sparkling Prickly Pear Lime Edition. Just don't pick them. I mean, people play Primal. Like, it is a line into dinos. It makes your early tanky Yankee good. Crit Core definitely has lines, too. Though a little bit worse after the railgun nerfs. Like, we aren't that far away from when Crit Core was the best core to pick. This was only, like, 3 weeks ago. Maybe Dino with Primal was too good. I mean, the Dino board's usually trying to cut Primal. I don't... Like, that's not the thing you want to be using your upgrades on, is the thing. The Primal Core upgrade was the thing you did as a panic backup plan when you couldn't find your silvers. But, like, you want to be upgrading your Rex specs. You want to be upgrading your Dinosaur. Okay. Arc Blaster. Cooldown to 7 from 6. Cool. Atomic Clock. Ammo changed to 2 from 3. Okay. Battery. Cooldown to 5. That's a big change in general. For one, I believe this means the force field board with battery doesn't work by default anymore. You can't use a battery to activate defense grid to charge force field. I'm not sure how much that really matters, but kind of a thing. But also, the more important thing here is battery sort of made it so that Dooley's longest cooldown was 4 seconds. Pretty much anything that they want to activate, they can use battery to make activate at 4 seconds. Now that limit gets pushed to 5. Doesn't matter for every single Dooley build, but there were a lot of boards that were bottlenecked on battery speed. I think it matters late game more than it matters early game. Like, in the early mid-game, sometimes your battery's just speeding things up by 2 seconds. It's not causing the activation yet. Like, for hydraulic press, this doesn't matter at all until you're at the point where you're actually activating your remote control at 4 seconds, which isn't until pretty late game. You can easily haste it. Sure, but you're still a second or half second slower. It's more things that you have to do to get less speed than you could have before. But, like, this is big for the hammer boards. It's somewhat big for the press boards late game. Would be big for force field if that was still a thing, but I think they murdered defense grid too when we get down to that in the patch notes. What other boards? I feel like I play battery on almost every board, but nothing's coming to mind right now. Oh, it's a big nerf to the Rex Specs board, right? Bomb Squad. Really? But you didn't even play this item to activate it. It wasn't even that fast. Okay. Chris Army Knife. Cooldown. So we're reverting. Okay, so we are just bonking everything. We are just bonking everything. Cool LEDs to 6 seconds. How the mighty have fallen. Oh my god. Oh, we don't even have the old versions in Bazaar DB. What was this originally? It was a 4-second cooldown. Slow X items for 1 second, or X increases with each level. When you use the core, use this. This thing has been nerfed by like 600%. Insane. Oh no, it wasn't use this. It was just you triggered the ability, so it didn't count as core charge. Coolant. Cooldown to 6. Copperhead. Also bonked. This thing went to 3. I probably knew that. Just never fully registered. First aid into 5. No. Flintstones to 7. Forklift to 12. Surely if we're trying to slow the game down like this, we're doing something about enchantments too, right? Otherwise, what are we doing? It's so ugly. Okay. GPU cooldown to 5 from 4. Hamlet cooldown to 10 from 8. A full extra slow required. Harm. Well, Induction Egg is bonked. Isocoric Freezer bonked. Light Ball bonked at all tiers. It would be easier to list what wasn't bonked. Was there anything relevant not bonked? Did Uzi get bonked? Don't say Uzi got bonked. Okay, I don't think Uzi got bonked. So there's still that. You still have the Uzi Metro starts. So, what is the net effect of this bonking? Does it just make the early mid game slightly slower? Late game, all the charge loops are still charge looping. The late game fast start items are still just as fast as they were. Damage enchantments are still one-shotting people. Was the mid game too fast? Felt like it wasn't that bad. Plasminade. Is this the only change to Plasminade? Really? This is a weird patch. There's like very few specific changes to things. Grenade enchants got nerfed too. Oh, it's just not listed here. I guess we can. Sure. Okay. Reasonable changes. Power Sander, Pulse Rifle, Firefly, Remote Control 1 second slower. Rec Specs 3 seconds slower? Whoa. 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 4 Rec Specs. So it goes to 9 base when you put it next to 2 things? Blue and black bugs are untouched? Yeah. I'm not really sure why we're touching the other bugs, for what it's worth. Wait, yellow's also... I'm very confused. I don't understand this patch at all. Tanky Yankees cooldown and damage got bonked. Welding Torch. Didn't they, like, just nerf Welding Torch into unplayability? Wait. Oh, it is 2 seconds. Wait. 6 second burn 8 if you have shield. I just think it's changed a lot. Yeah, like, normally they throw a bone to the characters not getting expansions. This is... not really anything. Like, let's look back to the last patch, just to give a point of comparison. So Dooley and Mac got expansions. There were like some pretty big structural changes to the game. Like this affected everybody pretty severely, disproportionately to Vanessa too. This was a big change, especially for Pig. There was text changes. Oh, there was the temple. The temple completely changed the game for everybody. Dooley got a bunch of stuff that wasn't related to the expansion at all. Vanessa got some relics to play better with the temple. I guess this was mostly just the crit changes. Or the cooldown changes. Yeah, I guess it just felt different because of the temple. I haven't gotten the skills yet either. There were some big skill changes. A lot of big skill changes. There were this many skill changes? Oh. I dislike the temple. Yeah, I don't know. I don't disagree that a nerf's probably warranted. Submit upgrade bronze or silver item. Yeah. I feel like that's big on everybody, though. Like, that is a pretty big change overall, that event is really common. So what's getting bonked on Vanessa? Bolas, table, catfish. Eels again. Grenade. Lighter! Mantis shrimp to 10. So it's just like every item that has above a 20% play rate. Pearl? This is like a double bonk. Because all the things that trigger it are also bonked. What are we doing? What is this? Are they just not allowed to have a 4-second cooldown? Wait. They're still double barrel, right? What? The cooldown on this item doesn't even matter! Pop snappers, cooldown to 4. Powder keg needs 2 more burns and can't one-shot anymore. That's big. That's big. So what? It makes... You need obsidian and crit, but it doesn't need upgrades anymore. Bonked everything. Yeah, I don't know why... I don't know how Yo-Yo still exists. I don't understand what happened this patch. Maybe it'll make more sense as I play, but I'm kind of disappointed reading the notes. Kig tooltip changed. The gameplay did not. Did they forgore? They forgore. Just had to tune down the enchants, not do all the bonking. I think those two things are trying to solve different problems. I agree that the bonking feels like it is more for early mid-game speed, if you want to address that. Where, like, all the bonking doesn't do anything for, like, charge loops or getting one-shot by damage enchants. Like, a lot of the time, for boards in the late game, their start speed is based on, like, what is triggering their charge item faster, or what is getting their charges going, or whatever. And it's more about having the damage from the enchant. But in the mid-game, all of your cooldowns kind of matter. It's an oopsie. Hotfix will come. I just don't know how this is an oopsie that gets made. How does Piggle Stadium pass the concept stage of a card with Yo-Yo existing. Like, we've been here before. It's not even a new problem. I don't mind that there's hotfixes, especially for like novel things that are coming up. Like if they had done a nerf to Yo-Yo and Pig Toys was busted to the point where it needed a hotfix, I would have no complaints. That's whatever. It's gonna happen. But we've had these exact things come up with Yo-Yo before. Like, Yo-Yo dupes are incredible. This thing makes Yo-Yo dupes and gives multicast. When you're able to give things next to Yo-Yo multicast while multicasting Yo-Yo, it is very easy to go infinite. We know this already. That's part of why Model Ship is the way it is, why Speedrunner is reworked to only work with adjacent toys. No, I don't think it has anything to do with people wanting to buy or skip tiers, because people are conditioned to expect the hotfix. They'll just, like, take a break for a day. You think they have separated teams for features, one for bonking, one for new stuff, and they test them separately, and then they merge all the stuff. But you don't even need to test this! This is like the first reaction from reading the Piggle Stadium, if you've played any Pig in the last 8 months. Like, what else are you expecting it to do? You'd be okay with Fast Dooley or Nessa? If it was a gold item, maybe. I don't think so, with it being silver. Like, maybe by the time the late game comes around, sure. But, like, this is an Infinite that's coming online. What, like, day 4, day 5? Like, there are ways to go Infinite with, like, Yo-Yo, Snowmobile now, but they come together much later. Yeah, the issue is just, like, everything is bronze or silver. It's so easy to get it all together. Money furnace is broken. Oh no. When you spend gold... So, on one hand, it's still a 9-second cooldown on Diamond. On the other hand, everything got bonked. On the other hand, how the fuck do you beat this early on? You just, like, play full defense Pig, throw a Money Furnace on your board? How quick does this get to 100? Like, day 3? You find Photo the GG? I mean, with Photo, it's still, like, 6 seconds? 5.5 seconds? Like, my late game standards, it's kind of whatever. Like, it reminds me of old KOS in that sense. And it's still really slow if you want to play it late game. Get this to 3 seconds with toy stuff. A board of multicasting toys with Speedrunner. Yeah. That might work too. That might work too. Obsidian is scary. Yeah, it does get 10x enchants. So the problem with this getting 10x enchants is that it doesn't matter if it never activates, but It does get 10x enchants. If you hit the ticket, this item gets 200 damage in 1 turn. Well, you need to spend the gold. It does take another day to spend the money from the temple. Because the best CDR item in the game, 40% Phono. Yeah, but it's only the one. He doesn't have many good ways to speed up items. Like, it is just Phono. And if you're investing a bunch into this hoping to find a specific gold item, you're gonna miss more often than you hit. That said, if this also works with Speedrunner, and there's ways to build it that way. That's a little spooky. He sees that it's unreasonably broken, you'll wear your tinfoil hat proudly. So my problem with that is I don't really see what they would be getting out of intentionally pushing busted stuff like that. I don't think it is significantly changing how many people are buying expansions. It might change how many people are unlocking it with gems, but I don't. That doesn't directly turn into revenue for them. The people that are going to be most interested in winning early are going to be people that have a lot of gems already. I could just use pub. Yeah, that's been how most of the other patches have lined up to me. This is the only patch so far where it feels like things should not have escaped the concept stage. Like 3 hot... Yeah. Like, also, if they wanted to maximize sales, they wouldn't be hotfixing as quickly as they do. They're like 10 levels into the pass. Yeah, and they changed how quickly you unlock them as well. We forget last season, week 1? No? You mean the one that they hotfixed the day after the patch, and then 2 days after the patch, and then on Monday after the patch? And also made a bunch of busted stuff that wasn't in the expansions? Like... Last patch is the one where it most does not map on to them just trying to sell unlocks. Yeah, but like it's not just the stuff in expansions that they have to fix. Like, Railgun was the most busted thing after the 12-hour hotfix. And it took them until Monday to fix that. But that wasn't even an expansion item. You just had that unlocked by default. Like, that's why the theory doesn't make sense. At least the Vanessa pack's not that broken. Yeah, it's just the one pig card. It's just the one single pig card. If it didn't exist, or was tuned down a bit, or even if it was a gold item. Even if it was a gold item. Vanilla premium pickles are broken too. They might be, but at least they're broken in a kind of novel way. They do interesting things. Dino High Road still, freeze map was broken beyond belief. What doesn't match here? That Railgun was busted as well! And Railgun wasn't an expansion card. Hydraulic Press was busted. Press is not an expansion card. Like, the problem isn't them making expansion cards too strong. It's any time they introduce anything new to the game, expansion or not, it tends to being too strong. The patch before, they had the hotfix Tortuga, too. Also not an expansion card. Like, and again, generally I'm okay with this. I'd rather see new stuff overtuned than new stuff be unplayable. My only complaint here is that we've seen this exact thing play out already. With how giving multicast to toys next to Yo-Yo, how this is going to play out. We know how good Yo-Yo loops are. We just, like, made an item that gives Yo-Yo multicast, gives things adjacent to Yo-Yo multicast, and prints more Yo-Yos. No, I haven't gotten to the pig stuff yet. Where were we? Oh, we just stopped at keg, right. Saloon, shark claws, shot glasses, vents, water. What? Water wheel? Was water wheel seeing play? It was not 876. It was 876. Like what, 2 months before? It was 1098, and then it moved to 876 in May. And then in July... So, okay, in March... In March, it got nerfed. In May, it got buffed. In July, it gets nerfed. So all numbers are different? What? 876 in May. 876 changing to 1086. 1098 in March. 1098. 1098 turning into 876. This looks correct. What? Yeah, I feel like I see very few water wheels. Like, some of these make sense. Like, I don't think Sea Dog Saloon was all that strong, but if everything's getting bonked, it does get better. And you do see a lot of Sea Dog Saloons. So I'm not surprised by this. But, like, you never even see water wheels. I feel like I run into, like, a couple of water wheels a week. Weatherglass... What? We did nerf Toxic Flame, right? Let me just make sure. Yeah. Wasn't this the only reason anyone ever put Weatherglass on their board? Okay. Zorsid. Cooldown to 7 from 6. Or Zorsid. Kind of makes sense, considering how many boards I played Zorsid on, even that didn't have any burn on them. Like, this probably had it coming. The fact that it only got a 1-second bonk when a bunch of worse items also got a 1-second bonk is kind of interesting, though. Fixer-Upper bonked again. Money Tree bonked, sure. Was anyone playing Fixer-Upper? I feel like everyone that wanted to do property stacking was just property stacking Money Tree. I guess they just didn't want them to be the same number. It's just like, Money Tree value stacks while giving you money, and Fixer-Upper does not give you money while value stacking. I guess Fixer was easier to get big than Money Tree was. Pen FT is a toy. Wait. What? Oh, we got rid of the cooldown reduction ability. Okay. What? Wait, the cooldown reduction was cool, though. Add 3x of rounding up the sell price of this item. What? Add 3x. Deal damage equal to triple this item's value. Oh, is this just the base value of it? Oh. Oh, wait, these sell for something now. So premium pickles also generates gold if you don't care about the pickles. It doesn't sell. It's 0 unless in combat. What? Is pretty sure they do sell for gold. You saw Crypt play it earlier. Yeah, there would be text on it if it said it didn't sell for anything, right? What changed with the burn one? Burn equal to this item's value on a 6-second cooldown. Wait. This... Huh. Oh, does this not reduce cooldown anymore? Oh, they completely reworked this. It is apparently no longer Matchbox's time to rise again. I was looking forward to it being Matchbox's time to rise again. Spawn one card for you, for your player. Okay. Oh, does it not upgrade them anymore either? Okay, this is just not the same item that was revealed. Huh. Wait, 3-second cooldown? Okay. Okay. Should we just, like, check if all of the items got reworked? Because so far, everyone that we've looked at has not been the same. Can I filter by expansion? There we go. What else here has changed? This looks the same. This looks the same. Oh, this starts at bronze, not gold. Okay. But it's the amount of times they go up. I guess that should have been predictable, right? With this being 3 at gold. It had room to go down. Dart launcher increases the slow targets. HUD does go 10, 20, 30, 40. But yeah, only slows... Oh, neither of these scale. Okay. I thought the duration was at least going to scale. Glider is changed. Huh. Better freeze me. Or else I will hit you with a boulder. Interesting. It's about slowing the game down. Why can a pickles board with yo-yo set you on fire for 3k in 5 seconds? I am not going to defend... I'm not defending anything about this patch. Maybe my opinions will change when I hop into the game, but... I'll defend most patches. I don't know what's going on this patch. I'm usually I'm Tempo's strongest defender. Most patches. This is the same... The slow targets also go up here. It's kind of big. Yeah, I don't think that's the reason. I don't think that's the reason at all. Also, it being on Steam would not matter. I will defend them from that accusation. Okay, so both of these go up. Preparing for the next hero. Preparing for the next hero, this patch was poor and not that many new stuff. Yeah, it's like overall weirdly a small patch, at least in terms of major changes. Do this for the same reason, money. So the problem with that is it just does not map onto their actions. Like every time they introduce anything new, whether it's part of an expansion or not, it ends up tending towards being busted. Also, they did make it faster to unlock the expansions this patch. And they tend to hotfix things within a few hours to days of them being busted. Like, they wouldn't be doing any of these things if their goal was just, we want to sell expansions. Like, I understand everyone's, like, conspiracy-brained and wants to attribute just greed to everything, but it doesn't even make sense if you think about it for more than 5 seconds. You know, private testing server group? Not as far as I'm aware. I'm sure they have something internal. I don't know if they have any external eyes. Better to release stuff strong than weak. I agree with that generally, yeah. We'll buy stuff day one and it gets equalized a few days later. I underestimate the value of those few days. I don't think I do. Especially considering the group of players that would want to buy the thing are going to have the gems to just unlock the thing for free anyway. Yeah, I mean, early season ranking doesn't matter at all. The newbie that gets beaten up is... I mean, the newbie that gets beaten up is going to want to unlock characters before they unlock expansions. Like, the newbie knows in a couple days things are going to change. You just don't want to release a dead expansion. Yeah, that's like the not crazy way of thinking about it. It's important that items are exciting when released. The newbie does not know. Then that's even worse, because they just assume the game is pay to win and quit. Like, you're talking about a very small, like, 3-day window. If that. Sometimes even shorter than that. Things do get hotfixed within, like, 24 hours at times. You think it's a bad practice? That's why I think that's not what they're doing. I think this is all way easier to explain with they just don't... They're wanting to push things to be stronger rather than weaker because they don't want new stuff they release to just be unplayable off it. Like, and again, if they just wanted to maximize the sales of expansions, they wouldn't have released Hydraulic Press Busted. They wouldn't have released Railgun Busted. They wouldn't have released Tortuga Busted. Like, there's simpler explanations for these things than we think we're going to make more money doing this thing that probably doesn't make us any more money. If anything, just drives people away from the game. Like, I understand everyone wants to jump towards greed as the reason for everything, but it doesn't make sense. There's simpler explanations that do make sense. Where? Same text. Explanation being incompetent still doesn't look good for the company, though. It doesn't look as bad as long as they're willing to make quick changes. Like, personally, I don't mind if stuff is busted on release, as long as they're willing to make quick changes so that the game doesn't stay in that state for an extended period of time. That's the same. This changed. That's the same. This one's the same. This doesn't have the charge effect anymore. Or the shield boost effect when you use an adjacent toy. But it's a 4-second cooldown. So if Big gets another 4-second shield item, that's kind of a big deal. They will hotfix for sure. Yeah, yeah. I'm not worried about, like, the long term. I just can't imagine how this thing made it to live. Yeah, this is a silver item. Tribune Piggles changed. This cost goes down. Your non-property items double value during combat. Adjacent non-property items have plus crit chance. Oh, so the difference is now value matters on, like, pigs. As a casual average player, you have a feeling that using the latest expansion was quite consistently the easiest way to win, and that expansions being strong is shadowing some of the original items in a way that doesn't significantly improve build diversity over time. I don't know, I think last patch, the easiest way to win, after they did the first round of hotfixes. Oh, I honestly had more success playing just Railgun Dually the entire patch, until they hotfixed Railgun. But I know the freeze max stuff was pretty busted. They have in Discord. Yeah, I've heard some horror stories about how bad their data gathering is. I don't think I can get into it, but it's bad. They do not have access to the data you would hope that they have access to. Toys plus multicast, get a random toy. Okay. Let's finish off these patch notes. Yeah, Pen of Tea became a toy. Showcase to 6 seconds, Skyscraper to 8. What? Of all the items to bonk on Pig. This one? Value pig boards did exist. Yeah, but Skyscraper isn't usually part of them. Like, if you're gonna... Okay, they did nerf Subscraper, too. But, like, Subscraper is better Skyscraper. This one I get. This one I get. This one I don't get. This thing's already, like, diamond only, right? Yeah. I guess you can get it from Property Baron. Not as rare as some diamond items. Also innate multicast on the boards that want it. Yeah, multicast is just damage. It's just another way that its damage scales. So this makes the bad Yo-Yo Infinite boards worse. But now there's good Yo-Yo Infinite boards that don't need Snowmobile. Box cutter to 4, multi-tool to 7. Really? Okay. Nullfrost Altar is now only on your own items, so you no longer scale crazy off the opponent if they're playing a fast board. Makes sense. Defense Grid is halved at Diamond. That's probably Rip Force Field. Between the battery change and this. You didn't necessarily need the Diamond version, but the gold one being 35 was huge. That was usually when the comp started to be strong. Is Box Cutter playable? Yeah, it had a 3-second cooldown. It was great. Like, Fang is probably like a top 5, top 10 weapon in the game. Box Cutter was better Fang. What does this do? Just my skills pop up or blurry like behind the Discord spoiler tag. Yeah, I'll need to recapture those, I guess. This happened last time too. I added a delay on taking the screenshot and it fixed it. I guess I need to make the delay a little longer this time. When your enemy uses a weapon. Okay. Off. Dooley didn't get this? I knew Dooley didn't get this. I was always very annoyed that Dooley didn't get this. I did not know he didn't get Moth to a Flame. It's not that relevant, right? This thing's... Is this a gold skill or a diamond skill? I think it's diamond. Yeah. Quick freeze... Freeze scaling change? This haste? What is this? I don't know any of these names. Oh! Yeah, okay. I don't know why this one was longer than the slow one. It's been like this for months, right? Ever since they nerfed the free skills. Yeah, I think the blue... Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. Toxic damage scaling goes lower. Toxic flame gets quite a bit nerfed. Still pretty good. Way worse at silver, though. 1/3 at silver, half at gold. 3/5 at diamond. You're gonna care about making your skill bar clean if you're trying to play Toxic Flame. It's way more important to upgrade this now. It's gonna be a lot like playing Defense Grid Dually before, where you're gonna be skipping some skills that don't have high impact to make your Grandmaster better. I probably don't have a huge QA team, and QA probably does the happy flow and tests if an item really does what it says. The connection between cards is probably something that's easier to fix if they catch high win rate numbers, just if they separated teams for features. Yeah, so there's probably a lot of silly, busted things this patch. That said, the only things that I'm really upset about... I don't know how this item makes it into the concept stage without reworking Yo-Yo. And I'm not really sure what problem we're trying to solve with the bonketing. Like, the first time it sort of made sense, because early game fights, mid game fights were ending a bit too fast. I don't think that that's a problem right now. I think the big issue with the game right now is that late games come down to you have to do something in like 3 or 4 seconds, or you're going to get locked out of the fight or immediately die. And this doesn't do anything to really address that. And the Piggle board too. I don't even mind the Piggle board. Like, that's fine. At least the Piggle board is a gold item. But like the mix of this being silver makes Yo-Yo Infinites a lot easier to obtain and gives you the duped Yo-Yo. Like, it does everything as a silver item. If gold items are going to be busted, it's whatever. It just does way too much as a silver. And I guess that's everything. Oh, Waters of Infinity starts at silver. Did it not already start at silver? Huh. Shows how much I played skill starts. Relax Bro is now small items instead of slows. That's a lot worse. Except maybe in the context of Pig. I put a bronze in and removed it next patch. Oh. I see. I see. Yeah, so it wasn't bronze when I was doing skill starts. Okay, let's real quick see if... Oh, there was a hotfix already. Not a relevant hotfix, but there was a hotfix. Some enchant changes. Captain's Wheel. If you have a vehicle or large item, reduce this item's cooldown by 2.5. Nope. 2.5 seconds. Huge. Did I encounter... Yeah. That was at the top of the notes. One of the first things we talked about. I think they mostly got everything in the notes so far. That's a plus. Changes in this item's implementation. I don't want to look into it. It's probably fine. Probably just bug fixes. Plasmated enchants weren't in the patch notes. Pretty sure all of that was. Blank slate. Did... Wait, what? What changed here? Does it need 10 more poisons? This was 40 before? Poisons went up, burns went down? Crit reference tags for the crit vendor. Lunchbox. What is this? Get a small food item from any hero. When you sell a food item... What? Oh, it's a Stell item. Okay. Is Stell gonna get regen skills? Because that's kind of messed up with chocolate bars. Hey, Headless but Chicken, thanks for the tier 1. Thanks for the 3 months. Welcome back. Yeah, like, it's 5 regen every time you sell chocolate. If you have the +2 regen skill, that's 15 regen for selling chocolate. That's a lot of regen. What are the... Oh, the colored nanobots have been in Bazaar DB for forever. I think it's just old data. Moon Orb. When an enemy item charges, charge one of your items by the same amount. Huh. That's weirdly techie. I don't know how I feel about that. Is this from the Temple Expedition? Placeholder for an incoming PvE encounter? Oh, I assumed because it was a relic. They just, like, added something to Temple. That might not be it. All Frost change. It's diamond, not legendary. Oh, true. You use a small item, gain 1, 2, 3, 4 regen for the fight. Huh. I guess Mac was gaining too much regen off this? Shot Glass is gaining too much regen off this? There were moon aliens in the Season 4 trailer video. Were there? I missed that bit of lore, I think. Trained unchanged. Because they reworked Erdan. Oh. Oh! Does... Okay, so because this is just gold, it's not going infinite. So if I'm understanding this correctly, the only difference between this board and a board that goes infinite at 2 seconds is Piggle's board being diamond, right? Alternatively, if these two were removed from the board... No, that still wouldn't work. That still wouldn't work. Street Gamer also changed. Ooh. Interesting. He's still kind of dirtily, right? This is more health than he had before. You have to kill quick. Yeah. That's always how I felt about this fight anyway. Oh, this does... This is plus 30 shield. So the first activation on this is 35. No, 40. Starting at silver. Huh. Okay. Well, that was a much longer patch note review than I was expecting to do. How do we want to start? Is this Kamanu? Just tuned in, TLDR. Pig seems really good, and we had another bonkening. I think, skipped the dually part and said they killed my boy. Could've. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. When we get back, we'll decide what hero we want to start with. Hope you guys stick around.